Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Alright, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight we've got the East Coast Web Printers Gen 6 series here for the Indy 175, live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Baron Labosco. Baron, welcome back, man, and what a one to come back to. Good old Indy.
I love this track, Dean, and these are great cars for this track. This track can be a little slippery, but it's my home track, and I'm actually broadcasting to you from the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana. Looking forward to this one tonight.
Well, how about that? A trackside reporter here live. I mean, this is unbelievable. But you think about this track.
This sucker's covered in snow right now.
Oh, my goodness, yeah, I'm sure it is. So you think about the track, Baron, and one thing I always think about here is pitting as it relates to cautions. One of the few tracks where you can pit and not go down a lap.
Yeah, sure. It's a 2.5 mile. We can call it an oval. Most people call it a brick. It's flat on all four corners. Each corner has its own characteristics. So these drivers are not cookie cuttering these corners. And because it's so flat, Dean, you got to manage your brakes, you got to manage your tires. But those pit stops, yes, you can green flag stop and not go a lap down. But tonight, these guys got their hands full getting on and off pit row for the heat that's in that track right now.
Yeah, that's another thing. In the concrete pit boxes, I slide through them all the time. We'll keep an eye on that as well. But looking in on the points here, we have the updated points. At least the top 20 or so are completely updated. So Jorge Leal got himself a nice big lead here as we're winding down on this series. Going to be tough for anybody to catch him, but Reiner in second, Person third, Travis, Jackson, Abear, Hunt, Claus, Williams, Ripka, and Dibble in the top 10. Baron, it's now or never for some of these guys.
It sure is. We're winding down to the end, and we're getting ready to start the season over again as we close in on Daytona. So these guys are in championship form, and some of them hunting a cup. Jorge Leal, the favorite so far, and I raced with George Sunday night at this very same track and put a W on the board in the Xfinity car. Let's see if we can do it again tonight.
Yeah, and I expect George to be very good here. Of course, there will be others. Different car, the Gen 6 car. What can you tell us about the Gen 6 car, if anything?
So this one's a great car for this track. These cars can actually suck up in the draft. It's an amazing equalizer. If you've got a car that works really well in corners, but has problems in the straightaways, boy, when you get these cars side by side, these suckers really suck up to each other. So we'll see some pack racing, but we're also going to see a lot of cars get strung out as well. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron here, but what I mean by that is if you get a group of 4 or 5 guys together that are similarly paced, they're going to stay together all night. And some will have it and some will not.
Yeah, it should produce some great racing here, some old school racing, if you will. We'll find out as we go along. But right now, I want everybody to rise up out of their seats for the singing of the national anthem by Alicia Shipman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in o'er the hands of the free and the halls of the grave.
Really
Oh,
nice, Alicia. Just love it every time. Makes me want to go racing, Dean.
it absolutely does. Some people feeling patriotic right now, and the song itself is great. And we gotta shout out one more time, Alicia Shipman. I mean, she did that personally for us, and man, she did a great job, didn't she, Baron?
I love it, and it just it gets me going every time. Just wound up for the broadcast, Dean, and see these boys mix it up here in this Gen 6 car. So yeah, let's get going. Let's get racing.
Let's do it. So Paul K. Travis in that East Coast Web Printers machine puts it on the point. Paul's been fast lately. The 88 sitting in spot 1. Brian Helm will be on the outside of row number 1. Row 2 features Bryce Reiner and Logan Joyner, a newcomer out here tonight. He looks fast. Watch out for Logan. George Leal, our points leader, will start 5th. Bernard Person in 6th. It's Jackson and Abear in row 4. Williams and Ratliff in row 5. Whitford and Rogers in row number 6. Look a little further back. You got Hunt, Walker the second, Spear, Bruce, Gilly, Brantley, Ratliff, Tony, that is. Jason Martin, Fleming, Olson, Sheffield, Ricky Williams, and we got more Suggs, Blau, Musial, Dibble, and Connolly. So a nice 29 car field here tonight.
Solid outing tonight. A lot of nice cars out there. Sheffield starting in the back again. That's one to keep an eye on. It seems like he keeps missing these drivers' meetings, and it's an adventure getting him to the front.
Yeah, he's got unlimited funds, Baron. He can take the fines. He's skipping these driver meetings. Well, here we go. I mean, we're getting down to it, ready to go racing here. I can't wait for this one. Pace car with its great handling, probably going to turn. There he goes. Holy cow. Hold on.
Mix it over to the corner. Yep. Giddy up.
So Paul K. Travis leads him down here.
Green flag.
We are green flag racing in the ECWP Indy 175.
Tires are cold right now. These cars are super loose right now for the first lap or so. So got to be careful here, side by side. Keep your fellow competitors safe, manage these corners, and let's get some heat in these tires.
Yeah, everybody doing a great job here. Nobody getting pushing the car. This is where it can get really ugly if someone overextends. Look at this mess of cars.
Yeah, it's good look though, right? Love them all together like that, playing into each other.
They're getting a little single filed out now. Look back at Rachel Hunt, TJ Rogers right in the mix there. Looks like Walker the second and Spear in this group.
Lap number 1 completed, and everybody made it through without hitting the wall.
Yeah, great job by everybody there. Paul K. walking away a little bit. Reiner in second. He moved up 1. Helms down 1. You got Logan Joyner and Bernard Person in your top 5. You're looking on Person's car. He's got that patriotic car going tonight.
Yep, American flag all over it.
I'm almost hearing the USA chant right now. So single file out here, and Baron, when you think about this, these cars do suck up well. Is this the type of place where guys are going to catch you no matter what, or can you really extend your lead out here?
Yeah, well, there's a give and take here. The cars stuck up well, but what happens is you start pushing air under the rear spoiler of these cars, you'll get it loose. And you'll see the guy in front try to keep a little distance between the car behind him, even though they're racing, because once that car gets loose, you got to chase it up to the wall, and that gives the car behind you an opportunity to pass.
Beautiful shots. Gives you a sense of the speed these things are running at. Let's take a look here. We're on St. James A. Here, 180 and climbing here. So these boys are motoring around here.
Yeah, they get after it down the backstretch. Ran the Xfinity car in this race Sunday night, almost the same kind of speed when you hit the brake there going into 3. So a lot of speed in this track. These cars, ooh, we got one that touched the wall.
That's Claus Williams there, a little high. He bumps the wall. That'll bring Leal down. So Leal back in 7th. Maybe not where he wanted to start, but we know Leal will be near the front by the end of this thing. He clears this group and sets sail now. He's actually dropped a couple of spots, interestingly enough. Oh, we got someone on the tail end here. I think it's not Musial. Not sure who that is there. The tail end of the lead lap could be Graham Connolly? No, I really don't know who that is. That's a phantom car out there right now.
All right.
It's the 10, so that's Ricky Williams out there. So Ricky's several laps down. Apparently missed the start of the race, so that's a problem for Ricky. Back in the pack, you got Brantley making some moves. Sheffield right in this mix, along with the Toad Man.
Sheffield already up 4 spots from his starting position, so Brandon on the move already.
Yeah, Sheffield, no surprise. He's going to make moves all race long. Rachel Hunt was good here the other night too, Baron, and she's looking kind of racy. Now, she hasn't moved up at all, but she's working on Greg Ratliff here, and right behind her, Michael Walker, or is that's Darren Bruce making a move on Michael Walker.
Ran with Darren the other night, solid driver. So was Rachel. Rachel's a very patient driver. You know, it's almost unbelievable how consistent these two drivers are in lap after lap. Same marks every time. Very few mistakes.
Well, we just seen a mistake there. Corner and wide, caught Sheffield tagging the wall. He drops a couple of those spots that he picked up, so he's going to have to go back to work yet again. Jason Burton making moves in front of him.
Time to go back to the drawing board, and it looks like he's gathered it up.
It's so easy to do here, Barrett. You put and wow, he's going to go 3 wide. Sheffield down on the bottom. Crazy move as we head down into the corner.
This track is wide, but it's not wide enough for 3. And listening people try that, Sheffield pushed him used to tonight.
Wow, Sheffield says, hey, I need my spots back, and then he should give a thank you there to the 31 of Jason Martin. Martin lifted there. He'll fall in behind and try and follow Sheffield on through.
Good looking paint scheme on that Martin machine, huh?
Yeah, you gotta love it. Little wind tunnel TV on the side, Screaming Eagles on the hood. Good looking paint for sure.
Whoa. Right behind him, who was that? Somebody D-died for a minute there.
Yeah, we got lots of action back there. Blau back here. Ratliff. Camera's straightened out here. Look back in our leader. Paul K. Travis into the wall. Holy cow. Right behind him, newcomer Logan Joyner looking to capitalize. He's got to run. This should be a pretty easy pass. So Paul K. with the one thing he can't do, and that's make a mistake here. We got the 46 of Helm right there looking to capitalize too. They can smell the chum in the water.
That's right. The sharks are swirling. So look what we did here. We got a couple of cars side by side, brought everybody back up to them, and now we got them all in a row.
Yeah, it doesn't take much here. And he smashed that wall pretty good, did Paul K. Travis. Let's see if we can get a look in that car. I'm not seeing much damage, so it looks like he's going to be all right.
That'll fuck you up.
You don't want to mess up that East Coast web printers machine, Baron.
No, you don't. Not at all. Don't bend that one up.
He's looking good and smooth now as he gets his wits back about him. It usually take you a couple of corners to shake that off.
Well, newcomer Logan Joyner out front now, taking advantage of a slip up here by the 88.
How about that, eh? Walks in, out of Wilmington, North Carolina. I mean, first race, here he goes to the front. He's starting to walk away just a little bit here.
Little tip of the cap to Ward Burton and the Caterpillar machine. Love it.
Behind him, Helm making a move on Paul K. Travis. So Travis still fading a little bit here. Helm underneath looking strong. Can he complete the pass? It's always tough. He's not going to fully do it. So on the outside, Paul K. will look to walk back. That was Reiner into the wall.
Yep.
You see Bernie trying to give a push to Helm. He just wants one of these guys to win the battle so he can get in there. And here comes the 8. And I love the way the 8's running here. Down low, Baron. That's where I like to be. Get those tires under that white line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to brush the rumble strips just to let me know if I've made it or not.
Often what will happen, you try and pick up a spot and instead you're going to lose one. So the 8 machine will slip back to 5th, Reiner to 4th, and Reiner now will make the move on Paul K. Paul K holding them off on the high side, but Reiner made short work of it.
Well, he's not going to be able to do that forever. The high side is definitely not the preferred line, and that's just very, very tough. But I've seen passes be made up there. But you got to have the right condition.
And there's a lot of wiggling there as person trying to get around Travis. Looked like there was a little bit of a thing going on there.
Yeah, it might have been a little touch there.
Meanwhile, Michael Fleming on pit road. Maybe we'll have a look and see what happened to Michael Fleming. And here we have it. So the 90 machine. And he's just going to pull over, Baron. Enough's enough, he says. Whoa, and when he does, he can't even quite complete that. So very interesting out of the 90 there. Meanwhile, well, this is an old battle. We got to get back to live TV here. So Logan Joyner stretching it out a little bit. Helm hanging in there with Reiner. Person in 4th. Travis is now slid to 5th with T.J. Rogers starting to work on him. And here comes Leal and Hebert. Let's hop on board with James Hebert here. You know,
nice steady wheel.
Yeah, he looks good here. And I just love guys who get in the corner early. We'll see here if he can do that. Like, to me, this is a little late. You're a little high to low here, and you can see he's struggling to get the car. You see where Leal was. Leal actually hit the rumble strip, and we got trouble up ahead. That looks like Bernard Person, and he was in all kinds of out of shape. There goes Logan Joyner. What is Joyner doing? Joyner heads to pit road from the lead. We seen this a couple of weeks ago from Helm. I don't understand what's happening.
I mean, could it be scheduled? It can't be scheduled.
I mean, we can do about 37 laps, Baron, so we're looking at a one-stop race. This is unscheduled, no doubt about it. I have no idea what's going on with Logan Joyner, but he is getting service. Very, very strange.
Okay.
So, back to the race. Helm, your new race leader. Reiner now in 2nd. Paul K through that chaos has come back. And T.J. Rogers also moved up. Person moved back. We missed something going on there.
Hard Charger Award right now. It goes to T.J. Rogers and Brandon Sheffield.
We see here, Person trying to make a move while Helm makes a move up front. And now we go 3 wide. Logan just gives it up. Oh, and contact there sends Person down the track. And then here comes Logan. And Logan just says, you know what, I'm pitting. I mean, I don't understand.
Okay.
So back to live action. Reiner leading with Helm chasing. There's Rogers trying to hold off. Oh no, and Person and Travis have come together. And they're wrecking.
Ooh.
So
Big wreck.
big wreck there. Wow. Let's see if we get a look at this. So Travis and Person had a little something earlier on in the race. Now on the exit, looks like Travis just drives into the wall, comes down and gets Person. Person escapes. Oh, and Travis with a hard lick. That's life-ending, that kind of lick. Holy cow.
Yeah. Put it right onto the barrels entering pit road.
I didn't even
Ouch.
see any barrels. That was a hard hit. All right, well, we re-rack them here, and apparently that was just Travis just pushing the car a little too hard. Some hard racing going on here tonight, though.
Yeah, guys getting after it.
I
What we
love
want, Dean. Yep.
it. Bruce on pit road, so Bruce, something's happened with him, and that does not look good. Let's get a replay on this while these guys take to pit road. And then, yeah, we'll have to back that up a little bit here.
It looks like he clipped a piece of that infinite up there.
So he sees stuff going on in front. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You got
yeah,
Travis. Just wrong
A lot
place,
of it.
wrong time right
Yep.
there. And that'll be the end of the 15 here tonight. So everybody down on pit road here. Bring up the old pit board. I think everybody's in.
If they weren't, they should have been.
Yeah, that's for sure. But the big mystery of the night was Logan Joyner. Why did he pull over? What happened to him?
Leading the race.
So Reiner comes off of pit road first. Looks like TJ Rogers gets in front of Helm. That almost looked purposeful from Helm. I'll do that sometimes. I'd rather start third than second, Baron. What do you think of that?
I agree. At this track, the low line is the preferred line. So, being on the outside, you could sacrifice a couple of spots, I like it. I approve.
Okay. So early carnage here at the track. There's Olsen on pit road. Blau's coming out now. There's Ricky Williams coming into his stall. Fleming back out on the track. He will get a waiver around here. Paul K. He looks like he's done. Joyner, Bruce, Suggs and Connolly never took the grid, so that's very interesting. And it looks like we're going to have some battles here tonight. These cars, high downforce, Baron, they can really rip through these corners, and you see a lot of guys overextending, hitting the wall. That'll bottleneck people. That'll cause passing situations. It's going to be interesting here.
Well, and the truth is that if it's so fast, once these cars get going, that you got to take advantage of it on cold tires. You get a passing opportunity, you got to seize it.
Yeah, absolutely. The 90 getting a little airtime here as you see him go around. Michael Fleming. Beautiful car. I love this Mack Trucks car.
Yeah, good looking truck.
Michael, unfortunately, several laps down, so he'll have some work to do. Well, he scored only one lap down, actually, so maybe that brings him back on the lead lap.
Is it Bobby Hamilton's car?
That car, I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm not the car guy, but we have several guys that come around here in the booth, Baron, and they tell you 6 different drivers that drove that, going back to 1942 or something.
Yeah, well. Somebody in YouTube land, fill me in.
Absolutely. We go to YouTube land for our info. Who's got the info? So everybody lining up, getting ready to go back to racing. And this is where a track like this at Indy, if you re-rack them and everything, the closer we get to the end, the more hairy this gets, Baron. Because cars can run side by side and guys will push it.
So true. Lap 17, guys will try to seize some track position here on these restarts, get the most out of it that they can. I love that maneuver at this track. It's really hard to pass as we get going. So we'll see some aggression here.
We definitely will. Lap 17 coming to lap 18 of 70. Ready to go back. Green flag racing.
Green, green, green.
Green flag down and away. Slow start on the outside. That'll bring Helm to the inside of TJ Rogers. That's what he wanted. Person helping Rogers with a big push, though. It looks like Rogers is going to get clear. Person also clear of Helm, I think. So Helm fading here. Here comes Jorge Leal out of nowhere. Leal, your points leader, just smoking the outside.
Great pass by Leal. Outside pass. That takes all, team. That was great.
Look a little further back here. Madness. You got Hunt and Tony Ratliff in there. I think that's Walker the second. Claus Williams in here. And they're pushing on and beating on each other back here.
It looks like they're fighting over a grape. They're pounding each other around.
Someone dropped free money out there. They're trying to pick it up.
Hell yeah. Pay window opens in about, 50 laps.
Jason Jackson in 8th. And, in the Xfinity car, I like the line he was running around here. Haven't had a chance to look at him tonight. Right now, Derek Whitford on the outside drives right around. So Whitford up 4 spots into 7th. Up front, Ryder leading person.
Sheffield up 14 spots, Dean. He started back in the pack, already up into the top 10. Folks, this guy means to get to the front, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little dipsy-do there, but he'll be all right. So, yeah, Sheffield definitely on the move. Right behind him, Tony Ratliff also up 9 spots. He's moving, so watch out for those two. But up front, Person has made a pass for the lead, so put that USA machine on the point. Reiner now being stalked by Leal, and I'm telling you, Leal so good here. He is going to get up here and get this spot at some point. I mean, this is quite a battle. Helm right in it as well.
Yeah, well, Reiner was off the wall earlier, so I'm wondering if he may have a little bit of damage on that machine. I mean, he's willing it right now.
Yeah, he could have, but I mean, I just think it's in his nature to be patient. Helm tags a wall. Will that cost him? It doesn't look like it does. A little brush of dust flies up. Abear makes a move on Rogers, and he will clear him, so Rogers gives up that spot. Hard racing up here towards the front as they all get single file now. We calm down just briefly here, catch our breath a bit, Baron.
Well, you can see they'll get lined up, and then they'll start working on each other, right? Because there really is one line here, so they're going to keep working each other, try to get close enough for a pass, set the guy up in front of him, but that is easier said than done, Dean.
And now we're starting to see the old serpentine here, but people like to do this to try and break the draft, Baron.
Well, it's smart, right? If the guy's hanging with you in the straightaways and you want to get some gas, maybe start moving forward to So find that leader, you need to separate yourself.
So you see Person all alone down there, nobody drafted him. He moves back up. That was curious. He just, maybe he thought they were ganging up on him. I don't know.
Well, Reiner's staying in touch with him.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely hard in these vehicles to shake everybody. I mean, they're going to come back, and what I like to do, Baron, is maybe play a little bit of possum here and just save my stuff, because you're going to have a battle sooner or later.
Look at Leal drafting with Reiner here. Gave him a little push down the straightaway. Come on, get closer to that 8 car.
Yeah, Leal also, remember our points leader, you know, all he's got to do is have these kind of finishes and nobody can catch him. So he's quite content where he is, I think, at least for now. We look in on Sheffield back here. There is Sheffield right behind Whitford and Jackson. So all three of these guys doing well out here. Sheffield looking for a little racing room. There is no room right now. Like you said, Baron, it's a one-line groove right now.
It is so far, and he's working with teammate Derek Whitford there. Whitford up into the top 10 as well, so shout out to the driver of the 42 machine.
TJ Rogers making a move on A-Bear. A-Bear never known to really give up a spot, fights a little bit but can't hold it. So TJ Rogers up 7 spots into 5th. And I love how low he got, Baron. He was on the rumble strips there. I don't know why more people don't do it, but that's where you want to be.
Well, it's a fine line, Dean. When you hit those rumble strips, it upsets the car. And if you're already loose and you start playing catch and run with it too many times, those tires will give up on you.
Well, you got a great point there. There's no doubt about that. Person, your leader. Reiner in 2nd. Leal 3rd. Helm and Rogers in the top 5. A-Bear has caught up to this pack. He's in 6th. Then you look at Jackson, Whitford, and Sheffield. A battle for 7th. Claus Williams sitting in 10th. There's Tony Ratliff and Greg Ratliff as they resume their brotherly battle here.
Each individual corner is so unique, and each short shoot is so unique. And it looks like such a cookie cutter. It looks like that brick, but it is not, Dean. It's got so much characteristics to it.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love the track. You see there, Whitford, that rear end kind of yawn out there on entry. To me, that's a too high to low type of entry, and I think Sheffield knows that, and he's going to look to capitalize here.
So he is tucked up there, and it has pushed Whitford out for a pass.
Yeah, I mean, and just to prove me wrong, Whitford immediately says, really, do I look slow? How about I make a move right now? Good battle here. Jackson and Whitford going at it.
Yep, that brought Claus Williams into the mix because these guys are side by side.
Yeah, Williams quietly joining this group here, so watch out for him. Now Sheffield on the outside.
Yep.
So the outside may become the preferred line here for passing as a run goes along, Baron.
Well, we saw Sheffield just make a great pass on Derek Whitford. Claus Williams saw that sitting right behind them both and said, well, now maybe we got something here.
So good battles there. We go back up front. There's Person, Reiner, Helm, and Leal seemingly struggling a little bit now, which is interesting because, you know, expect him to move towards the front, but Helm has gotten by him.
Claus on the move.
Claus Williams back in 10th position.
That's TJ Rogers.
Yeah, TJ Rogers having a nice night right now, but you know, the same thing happened to him that we seen earlier. Sometimes you try to pass and you lose a spot or two instead of make up one. Behind him, Sheffield working on Jackson now, so Sheffield continues his march toward the front. Up 15 spots here. He's got Williams trying to push him down into one.
Jason Jackson closes that door. And that's a great move because that muddies the air on the front of that car.
Well, that's the thing with these cars is you can really play with the air, can't you, Baron?
Yeah, you can muddy the air a little bit on the car trying to pass you. Jason Jackson did just that on Brandon Sheffield. He kind of went from a high to low position, and the Sheffield machine lost the nose, but he's gathered it up here. He's back into the pass again.
Yeah, a little hard on entry, trying to get a good drive off of the corner here. Looks like Sheffield's going to get this done, but there's no give up at all. Jason Jackson fighting back on the outside. He might be able to hold them off as they head down into one.
Nice run out of 4 for Jackson. Can he hold it through 1 and 2? Looks like maybe not.
I mean, oh, and Sheffield blinks. So Sheffield, little internet problems there. And look at this group, Barrett. These guys behind them all being held up because of these side-by-side battles.
Yeah, it brought everybody together. You know, bringing them together is a good thing. We don't like to come together once in a while, but not on a racetrack. They'd be over a cocktail.
Great racing, and like I said, that outside lane seems to be getting better and better. As I say that, Sheffield heads down low and completes the pass, of course. Am I ever right, Baron?
Well, we don't get paid to be right, Dean. We get called to see what we see.
Okay.
Nobody cares if we're right.
Person leading, Reiner second, Helm and Leal right in this group. TJ Rogers starting to fall off just a little bit. A-Bear right behind him, and then we're back to this group with Sheffield and company, and that's a large group that goes all the way back to the Toad Man and beyond. Daniel Blau also in this group, so that's 17th up to, 7th to 17th you could throw under a blanket.
Yeah, the guys got together and started passing, and we got them all bunched up, and now we got the pass completed, and look, they're starting to string out again.
Well, you got the speed has finally moved up there. There's a couple guys tagged the wall. Looks like Jackson, along with Williams, got a little piece of it. That's going to allow Whitford to make a move here on Claus Williams. We got to go back up front and see what's going on, though. Person leading, Helm starting to stalk the 14 of Grace Reiner.
Yeah, these 5 cars have stayed pretty much in line, and that has gotten them away from the rest of the field.
A-Bear trying to attach back to this group. TJ Rogers ran him back down, so Rogers said he was fading, but he's not. He's just different laps going different ways. Rogers hanging in there. A-Bear desperate to try, and look down the way. You see Sheffield trying to make up the ground that he lost in all these battles. You know, he's got an uphill battle here, Baron, but if anybody can do it, it's going to be him.
Yeah, he's got a little ground to make up, but look, as this race moves on, you can see he's already distanced himself from that pack. So he's made his way through the pack. But now, setting sail for that second pack where those leaders are, Dean, and we are, on our way to what looks like it's going to be a great race. Closing in on halfway, keep an eye out for pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Pit stop. We did have that caution. Let's look at what lap that was on. So lap 15 kind of changed everything. You know, that's going to put you at, 55 laps. So say 27, 15, Baron. I'm trying to do math again. Maybe lap 42 is kind of what we're looking at for pits.
I look these guys to split it in half here, Dean. If they can get to 35, I think that's where we're going to start seeing pit stops happen.
even with them pitting on lap 15.
Yeah. They got to pit again, and we know that. So, the strategies will be everywhere. You might be right, Dean, but I look for them to cut it in half. You're probably right. I'm probably wrong. That's why I'm a pretty bad cookie.
I think you're just fine, Perrin. Don't try and break out the abacus, man. It'll confuse you. I've tried that many times. Reiner now being stalked by Rogers. So how about Rogers? Rogers has moved up, he's moved down, and now he's back moving up. What do you think of what we've seen from the 72 as Reiner clips the wall?
Well, there's no give up in that 72, and he hasn't. So, a little bit of a setback, but here he comes, right? And, working on Bryce Reiner, who's no slouch, right? He's got some mojo in that 72 machine.
Certainly does. Rogers looking good. Helm stalking Person with Leal in third. I mean, this is a battle here. And we brought up pit stops, so we might not know exactly when guys are coming in, but the window is open. I mean, you can make it from here. So, what do you do, Barron? I mean, I know you like the short pit, don't you?
I sure do. And that's why I suggested maybe they would go and, pit now. But, Dean, as usual, you might be right here.
Well, I mean, I think these guys, they don't like the short pit as a league. We've seen it time and time again, even on a simple math of, no cautions at 35's the minimum. They'll go 37, 38 as a whole. It's almost odd to me that nobody likes the short pit here, but someone could, and I think someone should. How about a Sheffield back here? He's in 7th. He's maybe one of the fastest cars out here. Can he do something on pit road?
I think he's going to need a little help here, Dean. He's pretty far back. He is coming. He doesn't have a lot of time left, but can he make up all that ground and get through the field? It's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, it really is. This pack of cars here, around 10th through 20th. I mean, these guys are really, really battling. And girls, Rachel Hunt right in the mix there in 13th position. And she seems to agree with this track. She could use a little better track position, but she's been fast here.
You find that car anywhere on that track, that hot pink machine, it's easy to see on your TV screen.
And you think old Pinky Tuscadero, I mean, that's going back a little ways.
Right? That is way back.
I mean, you got to give me a, hey,
that's a right there.
Man, I'm old, Baron.
Me too. What kind of car did Pinky Tuscadero drive, Dean?
Well, it's going to be pink.
It was a pink Camaro.
Was it Camaro? I wasn't even sure. Oh, and Rogers touches the wall. We've seen that a lot tonight. What is causing this, Baron? Are they overdriving, or is this machine just tight off?
Sometimes both, Dean. Like I said, if you're tucked up around a bunch of other cars, you lose the nose, and the car goes to the wall. Or you overdrive a little bit, give a little too much right foot, the back end wants to come around and goes to the wall. So it's easy to do. That's why these guys are the best in the business. And sometimes you get an error.
How about this? Helm looking for the lead. Rogers looking for third. We go side by side into 3. And Helm does take the lead. How about that? The 46 on the point. Rogers takes third away from Leal as they shift around this pack.
Straight drove around him.
Great driving. Brian Helm on a mission here this evening. He looks fast. And Rogers is just making short work at this point. What has changed? All of a sudden, 23 laps into this run, and it seems like everything is changing.
These guys are feeling their cars now, so whatever's happening there in that 72 machine, it's all positive, right?
It's been wild to watch. He's been fast and a little bit slow, then fast. I mean, is it just momentum that we're noticing?
well, driving rhythm too, right? So you can see here you got a little bound up. Sheffield, not Sheffield, but Leal behind him get bound up. So, I mean, it happens. You got to run on a guy, you got to take advantage of it.
And I'll tell you that I remember driving these cars, Baron, and it's Reiner again into the wall. I can remember specifically going into second place on purpose to help tighten up the car, to get a little dirty air, actually, as Leal pokes his nose under Rogers now.
Leal had a nice run there.
Man, and they're door banging. Rogers says, okay, message received, go ahead. But he's going to immediately come back. So Rogers now has a little block on the inside. Rogers says, fine, I'll go high. Here we go.
That is defensive driving right there.
And Rogers completes the pass. So it's just tit for tat out here.
And it brought Bryce Reiner back to him. Bryce Reiner hit the wall and lost touch with him, and then these two got racing, and Bryce Reiner's back.
Oh, and Leal hard lick into the
Leal
wall.
hit the ball.
I thought he was going to pit after that, but he won't. He'll fall to the back. Holy cow. Jason Jackson comes in. So Jackson, the first one down pit road. I love it. Helm continuing to lead. Let's look in on our second group. That is A Bear, who's gotten around Sheffield. How about that? Or Sheffield's caught him, one of the two. I think Sheffield probably caught him here as he looks underneath. That's a battle for 6. Yeah, Greg Ratliff has found his way to be all alone out here in 8th. Then you got Whitford in 9th, Brantley in 10th. There's Hunt, Gilly, Ratliff, Walker the second, Blau, Williams, all in this group.
A lot of fast cars in there, Dean. They just can't get away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, any of these cars had some clean air to work with, they might get up here. But right now, it's all about Brian Helm out front. Whitford comes onto pit road. Walker the second, and they're wrecking behind him. Holy smokes! Jason Spear with a hard lick that should bring out a caution. It will. These guys actually are in a great position. I hope they understand it. We're going to stay with them. They should pit. They will not lose a lap. I don't know if they get a penalty or not, but they should be. This should shake everything up. Holy cow.
It just depends if it was closed or not, right? Did the caution come out?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were officially on pit road. Here's a look at Jason Spear, hard lick into the wall, heads down, and I mean, he just absolutely creams the inside wall, locks him up. Other cars coming. Everybody going to be able to avoid him here.
Big hit.
Big hit. Curtis had a big reaction off of that wall. So now, Helm coming around. You see Whitford and Walker coming off of pit road. These guys, at least one or two of them, they could be the race leaders when this shakes out. I don't know, though.
Crazy event.
They're going to go right around the pace car, and then as these other guys pit, so if they can race around the track and get back to the pace car before these guys can finish their pit stops, which they haven't even begun, I mean, wow, this is crazy. I really think Whitford and Walker will be your race leaders. I think Jackson also, yes, you see him coming around.
Yeah, he got his pit stop done under green.
Yeah, so Jackson, Whitford, and Walker all got their pit stops done. They might be your race leaders. I'm pretty sure they will be. That's going to shake it up and bring for some hard races. I can't wait to see it. Everybody else coming on now. And this is where you can't make a mistake. The concrete pit stalls. I have slid through these. I don't know how many times, Baron. It's an obscene amount of times I've slid through my stall at Indy.
Yeah, yeah, it's so easy to do. You start timing it the best you can, and you get in there and boom, you short pit or you slide through
And
your
we just
box.
seen it. Bernard Person with a terrible pit entrance there. I don't think that is his tires up. That's amazing. I mean, my apologies. Maybe not as terrible from this view. It looks like he's good.
He's got an angle on it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got a good angle. So, but he obviously lost a bunch of spots there. Sheffield comes out in front of both Helm and Person, who were leading the race. How about that? So
Wow.
Sheffield beats him out. Bear beats him out. Leal, Rogers, Reiner, all will beat them out. Wow, pit road's so important, Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just saw that in action, didn't we? Jason Jackson's going to lead this thing to green with Derek Whitford and Michael Walker the second right behind him. Bryce Reiner, the first car with 4 tires on that yellow flag stop. So fourth place on back should have precious tires on the track, and that doesn't bode well for the top 3, does it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they literally were on pit road when the caution came out. So, they should be virtually the same, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should. We'll see how it plays out. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. There's some kind of factor in there, even though I don't think there should be. Well, we'll see how it goes. But hey, big windfall for Jackson, Whitford, and Walker. I mean, they got to be loving this. They're like, man, the gods are smiling on me tonight.
Man, he looks like a genius, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Beautiful shot. All those cars coming at you.
Yeah, yeah. Nice long straightaway to get all those. What's your favorite driver in the view?
I just love them. Some beautiful paints out here. Always love RGR. All these guys out here painting their own cars, getting certain painters from the league to do their cars. A lot of great schemes. Here's that East Coast web printer machine of Jason Brantley. He's currently in 12th position. The Toad Man will line up right behind him. Of course, Rachel's got, is that KFC on the hood? I'm getting hungry. I don't think it is, but is it?
Well, that would be cool if it was, but I don't think KFC's a pink sponsor.
We got Racers for Christ on the side. How about that? So everybody are getting ready to re-rack these things up. And now it's anybody's ball game. And we talked about it, Baron. As the race goes along, when you re-rack these cars, it gets more and more insane.
It does. And now we're all back under a blanket, and guys are going to be going for track position. So hang on tight.
Absolutely. We're going to see if Jackson, Whitford, and Walker with this track position can hold it. I think they can. I think track position is the key. But we're going to find out. Reiner finds himself in just a great position after an awesome pit stop by him and Leal both.
A lot of attaboys to go around here, and Jason Jackson getting one right now.
A few guys that maybe need a ruler smack on the hand as well, Baron.
Yeah.
Here we go. Jackson, Whitford, Reiner, and Walker, Leal, and Rogers.
Green, green,
And
green.
we're racing. Great start up front. Pretty even there. Whitford on the outside doing a great job of hanging in there with Jackson. And he files right in front of the nose of Walker. Great racing. Leal and Sheffield on the outside. Rogers down low. Bear down low. Jackson holding them all off. So Jackson and Whitford and Walker holding their own here. Tires are holding up. Reiner on the outside looking to make his move.
Big run. big run.
Leal with a big push as well. Holy cow. He pushes Reiner right by. Rogers goes with them. Leal sends it in deep on the bottom. Right underneath. 2 cars. 2 for 1 for George Leal. He's going to the front, boys.
What a move. What a move. George Leal.
Leal knows that the gods have given him a second chance here. He's not going to waste it, but he gets stuck on the bottom. Big run on the outside. Leal under heat now. Reiner slides down the track. Oh, the wrecking, big wreck. Everybody piling up. Holy cow. A mess of grass and carnage, parts flying around. Several cars. There's Merton late slide through. My goodness.
That's a yard sale right there.
So not sure exactly what happened. We look at, oh, and up ahead. So that was around A Bear somewhere.
Ooh, look at that. Bernie and Abear here. Looks like it might have happened up in front of him too, huh?
Yeah, I think, like we said, everybody's racing hard here. Rogers filing in behind Leal. Here comes the Ada person with a big run. Nowhere to really go, and a slight touch at the wrong spot, and around goes A-Bear, and it's on from there. You see the correction. Now the 8 is wrecked. Here comes everybody else. Brantley, painful. And you see others. Everybody's wrecking now.
Rachel Hunt.
The 38 of Musial says, thank you very much for the opening, boys.
Yep, here's you. Folks on through this helm.
Yeah, Helm and person down there, wrecked, carnage.
Todd Gillies in it.
All right. So, to be expected late in the race here when you re-rack them. And now, this is where it gets crazy again. We've got pitters. This is going to be huge. Leal leads them down. A bunch in the field coming in. 5 drivers staying out on the track. Jackson, Whitford, Reiner, Sheffield, and Musial all stay out. Barron, I think they're sitting ducks.
Yeah, I think you're right too, Dean. But look, we're not paid to be right. We're paid to call the race. But I like your opinion here.
Well, we're gonna put that down as I was right because you like it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Rachel, they're pretty hurt. There's Brantley, Tony Ratliff down here, and a lot of guys getting work done on their machines. The Toadman, Ricky Williams back there, Jason Martin, putting that wind tunnel TV car under some stress.
Well, he's got the right sponsor, doesn't he, though?
He does. We'll pay for it. Fix that thing up. We got all kinds of duct tape down here.
Chewing gum, baling wire.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of budget we roll with, man.
That's right. Grab the block of wood and a hammer and get to work.
That's right. Spare parts? What's that?
We just steal them from the other teams. Hey, you using that fender? No? All right.
Oh, you asked.
I
never asked, Barron.
It's a Ford fender. We're going to throw it on our Chevy anyways. It's straight.
So you got to love this for Reiner and Sheffield. I mean, actually, who came on pit road? I got to get my facts straight here, Barron. So Leal, Rogers, Walker, and Ratliff, Greg that is, Williams, Brantley, all these guys came in. It's going to be Jackson and Whitford, along with Reiner, Sheffield, and Musial on older tires. Top 5, all in big trouble. Sheffield's up 19. How about Jacob Musial? He's up 22 spots, Barron.
Well, that's right place at the right time, isn't it?
He's got those buffalo wings on the car, and he's from Buffalo, New York.
Nothing like repping the hometown food.
I mean, I want Buffalo Wild Wings. Wild Wings? I think I'm interested.
That's a restaurant chain. Just what they specialize in.
French fries?
They have them.
I'm sure their wings are absolutely fantastic.
You know.
Okay. That's enough of a review for me, Barry.
Wouldn't go that far. Is there ever a bad chicken wing, though, Dean?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't had any bad ones, but the majority of when I eat them, I'm drunk, Baron, so I wouldn't know.
Well, we'll have to do a drunk review of Buffalo Wild Wings one night, then.
Well, they'll get a good 10 stars, I'm sure.
That's what's going to happen. You can bet your bottom on that one.
Now, I need at least 20 just to make sure.
Yeah, right. No, I get it. Science. Right?
That's right. You need a good sample size.
Got to science this up.
All right, let's get back to racing. Jackson and Whitford. I mean, what do you like here, Baron? Can they do anything? I mean, with these older tires, can they hold these guys off?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if they get side by side, no. If they stay in line and they get, what they need in terms of track position, and these guys get racing behind them, possibly.
All right, it's a hard maybe.
What it is.
All right, pace car off. Here we go. Jackson holding them down.
Green, green, green.
Green flag down and away. Great start on the bottom. Reiner going to come on through underneath of Whitford. Here comes Musial trying to hold off Sheffield and Leal on the outside. They have that rubber. They're looking to make moves. Or at least Leal does. I don't think Sheffield does. You can see the field has been thinned out here.
Yeah.
Great job up front. So far, so good for the old tires of Jason Jackson. He's loving the clean air. Him, Reiner, and Whitford still leading. Sheffield in fourth. The fresh rubber on Leal doing absolutely nothing so far.
Single file. 20 laps to go.
Go on board with TJ Rogers here. And I love that. Look at this. Down on the bottom, getting some air on that spoiler. That's how you run yourself some Indy.
That's keeping that headlight out in that air right there. He's right on those rumble strips, Dean, and he is right on the bottom.
That was a perfect 2 corners for Rogers. The momentum kills him here on the outside, but I love what I'm seeing from TJ Rogers. Getting in these corners earlier than anybody else. This is how I run Indy. I love it. I'm so impressed with the guys up front, though. They're still holding off Leal with that fresh rubber. Leal says, okay, I'm ready to make a move.
George Leal has not been shy about trying to make passes here tonight, Dean. He has really thrown it in there to try to get his position forward. And just hasn't panned out for him as much as he'd like, but he is in the hunt right now.
He is. Does he have racing room? Whitford right in front of him. Leal nowhere to go. They clog it all up. Great racing. Leal again underneath Sheffield. They continue to go side by side. This hurting that fresh rubber of Leal. Jackson has faded. Reiner has taken the lead, of course, while I was talking about all this, to 14, looking to set sail and have these guys fight behind them. Rogers with a push to George Leal. Leal drives it in deep underneath a Whitford. He will clear him. So Leal now just seemingly having to show some patience, but don't sleep on Rogers. Rogers moving up. So the tires starting to show here. Go to YouTube land here, see what's going on. We got an old baby from Edward Kane. Love seeing Edward out there. Wish you were on the track, Edward.
Yeah, get him out here on the track. Get him going.
What a battle. Jackson still trying to hold him off. Rogers looks 3 wide on the bottom. Leal doesn't know what to
Big run.
do.
Oh.
He's thinking about backing out. He does. Sheffield capitalizes, jumps them all. Wow.
It's still 3 wide, Dean.
And now Leal's on the outside. Sheffield in the middle. Rogers down on the rumble strips. Holy cow.
Dean, I think he had 2 tires in the grass.
That was wild there. He had that car almost sideways.
Yeah, I think he had 2 tires in the grass, Dean. We're trying to make that pass.
Heavy racing action. Reiner
You think these boys
leading
don't want it?
Jackson. Jackson has not withered on that old rubber. Neither has Sheffield. It's unbelievable. I think Reiner's on old rubber as well. I mean, I got to check again. Yeah, Reiner's on older rubber as well. So the rubber, surprisingly, Baron, is not paying off.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there is a yet in there for sure. And we see Leal all of a sudden, as soon as I say it, he's up to second, and he's putting pressure on Reiner. Rogers looking for racing there underneath of Jackson. Oh, they're so tight there. Wow, Rogers squeaks in front of Jason Jackson.
Side-by-side battles, Dean. It doesn't get any better than this.
It really doesn't. Brantley, a little piece of the wall there. Brantley back in 8th, trying to hold him off. Greg Ratliff right there, ready to pounce. Michael Walker, the second, up in 6th, making some moves. Jackson starting to fade on that rubber. Reiner still holding off Jorge Leal.
Great side-by-side racing here, Dean. I love seeing it the closing laps in Indianapolis. Does it get any better than this?
It really doesn't. I mean, this is what we came here for, and we're seeing a lot of great driving, a little bit of impatience, followed by a lot of patience, Baron. I mean, that's kind of Indy in a nutshell.
That it is. And that consistency we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. You got to have it. If you don't have that, you don't have much here at Indy.
Rogers continues to look for a chance to pounce. Whitford and Jackson still riding each other, and Brantley right there saying, I'm coming through. He drives right around Whitford, sets his sights on Jackson here. I love seeing it. Jason Brantley having himself a night. He's up 11 spots into 7th, and he's looking for more.
Brantley is having a night. I mean, it seems like every time there's a wreck, he's near it and he gets through. That's a fun life.
Now we got a battle for the lead. Leal down low. Reiner up high. Trying to hold him off. Great job by the 14 so far. Can he hold him through this corner?
We've seen this before, Dean. Can Jorge Leal finish the pass?
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, that outside gets momentum, but he's got Sheffield helping him. Unbelievable. Sheffield pushing Leal to the front. Reiner going to fade to second.
Sheffield looking to capitalize on that pass, too. You know he's got something in his back pocket.
I mean, Leal is going to set sail now. He's got clear. He's dirty air. Look for TJ Rogers, and he does. He makes a move. Rogers has to get up here. He has the same rubber as Jorge Leal. He has to clear both Sheffield and Reiner and do it in short fashion. What a race. These two slugging it out here. Rogers trying to push the issue and they run into the wall. Oh, no, and down pit road at 150 miles an hour goes to 72. There'll be no caution, but that will end the hopes of TJ Rogers and virtually seal the deal. I mean, Reiner hanging in there, but Leal has 5-lap fresher tires.
Oh, what a shame. What a race.
Crazy, crazy stuff. Michael Walker, the second, has slid up to third. How about that? Love seeing it. He's in third, Brantley in fourth. These two having, one of their best runs ever here this evening.
Fantastic racing. Hate it for TJ Rogers.
Yeah, that was a shame. That was going to be a battle. Rogers had speed. He just needed to get up there, and he knew it, and he risked it, and it didn't pay off. Sheffield back here battling with Claus Williams. That's a battle for 6th position.
Claus having a solid night, Dean.
Yeah, Claus always has a solid night. I mean, very quietly sitting here in 7th position. It's a real Claus Williams type of night. I mean, he is so steady. Up front, Reiner has not given up as we see someone way down the track. I mean, things are still going on back here. Looks like Helm back out there.
Battling. All kinds of battles going on.
So Reiner somehow, some way continues to hold on to Leal. I'm so impressed by the 14 here. He has not given up.
Race car driver right there, Dean. Race car driver.
Yes. You want to do a bank robbery? You got a wheelman right there.
That you do.
I do not condone bank robberies. I'm just saying, Barrett.
Virtual bank robbing.
Sure. Brantley now trying to hold off Sheffield for 4th. Helm, all of a sudden, I mean, I thought Helm was out of this. I thought he was wrecked and gone. He's moving up back into 6th. He is getting it done, passing Jason Jackson. Jackson trying to hold on. Almost contact there.
I'll tell you what, Dean, if you got one driver to pick out of this field for a beer run, who do you pick?
A beer run, wow.
A beer run.
I mean, it's got to be a
E-W-R-U-N beer run.
I don't need anybody pulling over and drinking my stash, Baron. I mean, who doesn't drink? I mean, right now, Reiner's got to be your wheelman, right? I mean, he's going to get there as fast as humanly possible, and if you send him in a clunker, he's going to make it work anyway. He might just pour oil right into the engine while he's driving. Who knows?
It looks like he may have retired tonight, but I'm going with one Darren Bruce. That's my driver for a beer run. We're going to pick old Darren out.
Well, I think you're absolutely nuts. I mean, Darren's coming back with empty bottles, so that's not going to work for you, Baron.
Oh, that's so true.
So George Leal now starting to assert himself a little bit, but he has not shaken Reiner. And don't look now. Michael Walker II can smell something special here. Let's go on board with Michael Walker. I mean, how about it? He's in 3rd, and he's closing.
He is closing. He's coming. He's found something here, Dean.
Yeah, look at that early entry. That's what I preach. I love it. You got a little on the rumble strip there. That'll upset the car a little bit, but help it turn as well. And he's into the corner earlier than the top two. I love it. I mean, right now, I think he's driving the best line of the top 3. See there, a little later through this turn. You want to get down here early. And he does that a little better than the other guys, maybe a little too hard in. Pretty solid though. Michael Walker looking very, very racy here tonight. And
Glad to have him up here too, Dean.
absolutely, we want to talk to him and see what's going on. Reiner continuing to hold on to the back of Jorge Leal. I can't tell you how surprised I am and still shocked by it. And Brantley back here holding on to fourth over Sheffield. He's doing a whale of a job. He's riding that East Coast web printers machine.
That's no easy task right there. Sheffield is on the move.
Definitely not easy. The lead's still there. I mean, Reiner, I think what Reiner's thinking here, I mean, this is what I'd be thinking, Baron, is I just got to stay in contact till the last lap. I'm going to try something going into 3 on the last lap. That's all I've got. I just got to stay within contact.
Easier said than done. 6 laps to go.
I mean, if you've ever done an Indy race in an Indy car, you know you pass virtually every lap due to momentum and drafting. So you got to be in the right position, the second position, heading out of that last corner or into the last set of corners. So I think that's what Reiner's kind of doing. Hard to say, but he's doing a whale of a job.
Smart race car driver, very savvy. Love what I'm seeing here.
Look at a few other big movers. You got Tony Ratliff back here in the number 6 machine. He's up 11 spots on the night, doing a great job. Jacob Musial, he's picked up 16 spots into 11th. And you're not going to believe this next one. Michael Fleming in the Mac machine that was wrecked early in the race is in 12th spot, up 9 spots. How about that, Baron?
That's crazy. He was absolutely wrecked. You count him out. And he's back.
That's incredible stuff. Jorge Leal, your race leader here, continuing to hold off Bryce Reiner, as it looks like Michael Walker's still hanging on, not closing in anymore though. Oh, and Reiner blinked out there. Scary situation. 4 laps remaining in this East Coast Web Printers Gen 6 series. It's been a thrilling race. And as soon as I brought up Fleming, he's on pit road. So is Sheffield. What has happened here?
Well, now you got me.
Shocking development. That'll put Brian Helm up to 4th, and Jason Brantley moves up into 5th. Coming down to 3 to go. What does Reiner have left in his bag of tricks? You see the 51 snaking down the straightaway, trying to break that draft, create some separation.
Can he do it with 3 to go?
Well, he's opened up a few car lengths here, and I mean, this is not what Reiner wanted. You know, knowing Leal as I do, he probably did this on purpose to save a little bit for this very moment, because he knows the last thing you want is a car on your bumper with 1 to go. Reiner closes back in slightly. Great corner there by both guys. Smooth as all can be. I mean, you're looking at perfection here, Baron. Both guys focused on their marks. Reiner closes up to within 2 car lengths. 2 to go.
He's really making a run for it now, Dean. He knows it's time. He saved his tires. Can he make that pass?
I mean, he might be able to do it. Coming down to 1 to go. Look for him to make his move here. You see the 51 desperate to break this draft. He's doing all he can. Reiner now right there.
Look at the run he got coming in. Drove it in real deep, Dean.
He did, and he made it stick. He got a good exit as well. So here we go. Coming down to the white flag. Jorge Leal leading. Reiner chasing. 1 to go.
That was crazy deep.
He's got to have a great corner here. Leal a little high. Reiner gets a little bit lower. Should give him a better exit. He's pushing it to the limit. He needs to have the corner of his life here. The 14 with a good exit here. He'll look to draft up. The 51 down the track trying to break it. Down into 3. He is there,
Oh, I
Baron.
love this move. I love this move by Reiner.
He goes a little higher here, tries to get an angle, get a run on the 51. Reiner
There
looking
it is.
to make a move. He's right to the bumper of the 51. Jorge Leal cuts the nose, though, and holds him off. Wow, what an effort. The 51, though, going to come home and win this race. What a race it's been. Reiner will be second.
Right.
Walker gets third. Holy cow, Baron.
What a great maneuver. That was great driving, Dean. I was about ready to hand the 14 the checkered flag, and the 51 made an amazing defensive block.
Oh,
Great run. They're
Reiner's
Well, he's
trying to give him
show
a
some
little
appreciation there.
congratulations and give him a little spin.
Got a little overzealous in his congratulations.
I think all will be forgiven. Those guys just showing
Yeah,
respect there, and
Yeah,
that was fun, Baron. I love what I saw here tonight.
Yeah, that was great stuff. That was good stuff, Dean. Good stuff. Let's do it.
Unbelievable. Almost out of things to say here. Let's check in on our results because they're a little crazy all over the board here. Of course, Leal, Reiner, and Walker the second, your top 3. Helm and Brantley with top 5s. Great run for those two. Jackson, Whitford, Williams, Tony Ratliff, and Hunt in the top 10. Musial faded a little bit to 11th. Greg Ratliff, Fleming with a great recovery, even with that pit stop. Hebert at Sheffield fell. Debble, Gilly, Rogers, Person, and you're getting into the guys who kind of had some wreck issues. There was some tragedy out here as well tonight, Baron.
Calamity errors. Yeah, it was a good race. Had a lot of everything, Dean. Pit strategy, had some yellow flags. We had some passes. Indy really delivered tonight.
It did, and this is what I like seeing, right? Guys were racing hard. You try your best to race clean and everything, but it's called racing, right, Baron?
Yeah, well, that's just it. And, Indy's such a tight track, even though it's such a big one, that, sometimes the guys overcompensate. And we got a couple of yellow flags, but Dean, great race overall. I love it. Indy's one of my favorites, and not just because I'm from there. But it is a great track. We really got what we wanted tonight.
We did, and Leal smoked us out. We had to change the camera there. Holy cow. He is dog walking for his life here. He might do a whole lap, Baron. Incredible burnout to finish this one out. I think he's pretty happy with his efforts.
Yeah, nicely done. And look, celebrate how you want. Some people get a beer. Some people just flat dog walk it down the track.
Back to beer again. We'll send. Maybe Darren's already made it to you. I don't know.
We are closing in on the weekend, Dean.
Okay. All right. Let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews done. look at the old BMW M2 out there on iRacing right now. We're back at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where Mr. Jorge Leal won this race. It was a fun one here tonight. We had many contenders for the race win, but once again, our points leader ends up in victory lane, Baron.
He goes back to back too, Dean. He won Sunday night as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so impressive all year long. But right now, I want to bring in someone else who impressed here tonight. The 22, Michael Walker the second, up 11 spots, hits the podium here tonight. Congrats on a third place finish, Michael.
Thank you, Dane. I appreciate it. I was really really fortunate to where that caution fell there and gave me that all-important track position.
Well, it is so important, isn't it, here at Indy? You know, you get back in those packs, you can be as fast as anybody, but that dirty air, all those cars, it's awful tough, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of got bottlenecked there at one point, and I'm normally not one to short pit, but I figured what the heck, and as soon as I pulled it on pit road there, the caution flew.
Well, that's Indy, right? You don't go a lap down on pit road, and then you can get that to happen. The gods smiled on you a little bit, but I want to talk about your driving. I mean, you were fast all night. Here you are at the end. Really, you were starting to make up a little time on the leaders at one point there, Michael. Did you dare to dream that he'd come up here and take it away from Leal and Reiner?
I wasn't sure about that. You know, on a side note, I was fortunate enough to meet my favorite race car driver tonight, Joey Logano. I thought for a second there he rubbed off on me, but I couldn't mimic him tonight.
Well, he may have. I mean, maybe a little greatness rubbed off on you, Michael. I mean, something's rubbing off. You're getting faster and faster out here. And I mean, like, what do you think in general about these Gen 6 cars? They just look like they're creating some fun racing environments.
Oh yeah, 100%. These Gen 6 cars and the Gen 4 cars as well, they're both a ton of fun to drive.
Well, they are. You've been a blast to watch here tonight, man. We were rooting for you, Michael. I mean, I'm sure you're trying all you could to get up there. Congrats again, man, on a hard-fought third place finish. And we'll give you the mic, brother. Anybody want to shout out or thank you? Go right ahead.
Yeah, Dan, we appreciate both you guys, and of course, we couldn't do all this with the big support we get from East Coast web printers and a live church. So you guys really help us make us go around here.
All right, Baron. That's the 22, Michael Walker the second.
Nice to see Michael up here on the podium. And Michael, a hell of a race car driver, and you know, his time was coming. We knew it was going to happen. But speaking of time coming, I'm with the second place driver tonight, Dean, and that is Mr. Bruce Reiner. Bruce. Look at
Bryce.
me. I'm losing it. Bryce. Look at me. You know, the first time, Bryce, I get to talk to you in a long while, and I booger up your name. So
That's
don't take it
okay. A lot of people call me Bruce. It's all right. I'll deal with it.
Do they? Just a dumb one, right?
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
guy. Yeah. So Bryce, look, we were watching as this race unfolded for us, and you're on old tires. You got 2 to go. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to George. It was a crazy race. I knew he was going to be fast, and coming down to the 2 laps to go, you know, I was planning my move, 15 laps to go before, like, once he got by me, and it's so hard to plan it out, and then in the split second that you're right behind him in the final 2 corners and you try to do something, you make the wrong move. So it just this one very much stings a lot. But hats off to George for blocking there, and yeah, there's nowhere else to go, especially with 2 to go, 1 to go, coming to the final corner. It's just heat of the moment. You got to make a choice, and if you make the wrong choice, you got to deal with it. And I chose the wrong one.
Well, it looked like it was full send going into 3 there. Excuse me. You got to the short shoot, and you went for a pass. Walk me through what happened from there.
Yeah, so I was telling myself, crossovers are the main key, especially if I'm braking a little bit earlier, which I have been doing the whole race, and that's why a couple, here and there I just let people go because, saving tires, but also, braking early, you can get to the gas earlier too. So I was planning that move, the crossover move, because it was really, really helping me on the backstretch, front stretch to catch him when he was doing the snaking move. Um, but it's just going out of three to the short shoot. I just stayed on the inside of him, and hopefully he thought I was there to where he would give me the lane, which, coming to the end, I don't think he's going to give it to me. Um, but that was my mistake right there, going on the inside, and then from there he got to the apex, and I didn't get a good enough run to side draft him like I wanted to out of four. But yeah, that settled that.
Right. Well, and that's the best you can do, right? Hell of a drive there tonight, Bryce, and it was an absolute pleasure calling it from the booth. Really close finish at Indy. Listen, who you got to thank for your second place tonight? I know you wanted one better, but that's not the worst way to lose a race.
Yeah, I was trying to intimidate him the whole race in the last 15 laps, but all in all, hats off to George. He held me off to with the fresher tires, and my old tires stuck with him. Just want to give a shout out to George. You guys up in the booth. I feel like this was a really, really good broadcast for you guys. Crazy stuff happened, and lots of fun out on the track tonight. Just want to give a shout out to Martin PC, Digital Sim Sports, Team Conti, the RGR League that makes this all happen. And we'll go on to Iowa, but this one stings just a little bit.
Great run tonight. Congratulations, Bryce, on second place. Dean, it doesn't get much better than this. That second place finish is one for the history books.
Well, it really is. It only gets one spot better. That's where I am, down here with the 51. George Leal sweeps Indianapolis, the king of Indy. George Leal, congratulations, man. That was a thrilling, thrilling race here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. That was a lot of fun.
I mean, let's go back a little bit, George. Early on in the race, there was a lot of jockeying for position. You had guys like TJ Rogers up there, Helm, Person, different guys. And, there was a lot of passing going on, but then everybody would pass someone, then lose one. There was a lot of momentum stuff going on or drafting stuff going on. How were you dealing with it?
Yeah, it was tough. Seemed like if you didn't get the pass done entering 1 or 3, it was really hard to complete it, and then you would lose a spot, just like you said, based on the momentum on the outside and people get back to the throttle. It was a ton of fun. I'm sure there was a few people with hurt feelings because we were running into each other quite a bit, but it was a lot of fun. But like I said, just trying to decide whether you wanted to go for the pass or not was what it came down to.
Well, George, if I'm not mistaken, there was a point here late in the race. You guys going 3 wide down into the corner. You back out. If I'm not, I think I have that correct. You backed out of the middle. I was almost shocked that you were willing to do that, but you did it. But then immediately you end up 3 wide. Now you're on the outside, a little better position.
Yeah, I think it was TJ that shot down there. I thought he was going to stay behind me because I think it was the previous straightaway. He kind of bumped me and gave me a little push. But he shot down there, and I got a little bit squirrely in the middle. So I just tried to get in there and stay alive, not wreck the car. And I didn't really realize I was on the outside 3 wide until we got off the corner. So luckily we got through there.
All right, well, we get down to the end here, and you got to be loving it. I mean, you're out there on fresher rubber, right? You got 4 or 5 laps on these guys, and it took a little work to get up to the front, but you had to be thinking, well, it's mine now. I'm just going to walk away. But Reiner on older tires says not so fast.
Oh yeah. It was 2 or 3 laps, I believe, and in practice, after 2 or 3 laps, it was like almost a second fall off. So yeah, I did drive pretty hard to get by Bryce and a few other cars. But I really did think that I was going to pull away a little bit. I didn't know if I was going to leave him, but I figured I'd at least be able to get a little gap and maintain it. But he did a really good job, and if it wasn't for the blocks there at the end, he definitely would have got me.
Well, it's kind of where I was going. I mean, you know, we were talking about it in the booth. This is Indy after all. You can set a guy up. Sometimes second is better going into those last set of corners. How concerned were you that he was just going to get a massive run and overtake you?
Yeah, well, he was getting these huge runs. I could see in my mirror this like the last third of the straightaway. He was just sucked right up to me, and I kind of assumed he was, instead of going for a pass in, I kind of assumed he was just like letting out early and just saving his stuff. So I knew he was going to get a run. That's why I kind of like drifted down to the bottom, because I was like, if he's going to do it, he's going to go to the outside of me. And he set it up perfectly. We went high to low, got in the gas a little better than me, and I think I've won a pretty good amount of races super clean, so I figured I could afford one block.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a race for it. George, it was thrilling, man. You played everything right. You got another victory here at Indy. You extend your points lead. Congrats, man, on just an awesome job here this evening. And we turn the mic over to you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate doing the broadcast. Shout out to Eric Whiting for painting this car. First time I was able to get the Gen 6 car in victory lane. These cars they don't suit me as good as the Xfinity cars, but they are a lot of fun. And thanks to RGR guys and Grassroots Racing. Jason Brantley got him a top 5, so shout out to him.
Absolutely, Bear, and that's our winner, the 51, our points leader as well, George Leal, and he gives a little shout out to Brantley. I like that too.
Well, it was a great run, and he's back-to-back Sunday night and tonight here in 2 different platforms. George, clearly suited for this track here at Indianapolis. Great run, great race, Dean. Got everything I wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Thank everybody out there in YouTube land, over in Facebook land, you know, or what was the other name the football guy used? It doesn't matter, but he had a funny way of describing social media. Love you people. Can't do it without you. Thank you so much. Next week, we're looking at Iowa. Only 3 races remain. Someone has got to knock George Leal off, and can they do it? We're going to find out. We got all that coverage every Thursday, 9:10 p.m. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Baron Labosco, that's going to wrap it up here from Indy, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.